So I had to come and do my video. I done got all the way on fire. Cause guess what? I just was listening to Mama Lucy Tellis. But this is Kenita Patterson, the homeless CEO, honey. Get into it. My little new slick my hair back. I gotta do my color. Get it big. However, I'm so and I came off a third shift. I was getting up, getting ready because I was supposed to be on with Miss Lucy along with our comrades, and we keep on having technical issues, but the devil is a lie and he's a motivator to get it right and get past the obstacles of tech or anything else that's an obstacle. Her topic today was let your haters be your motivators. Oh, can we talk on that? Hey, do you have a situation where your haters have been your motivators? When you go back and look at it at the time when you going through it, you like, man, really? But these people, these humans, I be saying it all the time, humans get on my nerves. For real, humans, for real. This how y'all gonna act. So unhumanly to other humans, you know. And then, you know what, in the big scheme of things, everything goes back to our childhood, honestly. Because I was thinking about it. Just different jobs and things like that. Think about if you counting a drawer down, right? The till most always is going to have $200 in it. Tell me what game that make you think of. Do 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 Jeopardy. What they make you think of? Monopoly. Do not pass go. Collect your $200. Go to jail. Properties, gentrification, all that jazz. Then you be having a telephone game where people run around and don't get the story right, don't never contact you directly and be like, okay, well, we said whatever. Adulting, nobody wants to adult. People are in a childish place and space, which let your haters be your motivators, right? However, again, in the big scheme of things, what people do not think about is the children that suffer from this. Because I have heard of, at the very least, 4 families that have been actively evicted with children being involved, pardon me. And what I want to say about that, letting your haters be your motivators, I've put a launch out about tour before, the Ultimate Resource Hub. So there is an A through Z resource of social services, wraparound services, the whole 9. And the people that are foundational to that group already are Black Women on Fire. First, let me say that. Oh, you must say that. We cannot leave that out. Black Women on Fire. They are slept on. They are underserved. They are the ones providing hospitality and service. Like Miss Lucy said earlier, behind the scenes stuff you don't even know we do. Then we come back and circle around for each other. And we make sure if one knows something, the other one knows something, the other one knows something, whatever we know, we got we. You hear me? That part. And what Tura is doing is a learning center. It's the epicenter of all of this. Learning center. Miss Vicky House is the brain house behind that. I hope she don't mind me mentioning her. Because we've been underground working since it's been past 3 months that we've been underground just working on this and getting focused, getting away from all the distractions, all the haters while we was going through it. Do you hear me? Every day we had to keep ourselves covered in prayer before and after, which that's what you should do anyway in kingdom work. But boy, did each one of us have some episodes you wouldn't even believe. We ain't even told that story yet. The story is yet to be told. And you talk about black women on fire. Guess what? One situation I had, I'm going to withhold that story for right now because it ain't time to tell that one yet. But baby, guess what? At the end of the meeting, someone done created a whole fake meeting to try to deny me for some, or not just me, let me take that back because I'm feeling it in my soul, to deny us our rightful chance at competing for funds to create housing. House away when you already have 17K deficit of housing in Nashville, Tennessee at a base. That was before COVID. Let's not even talk about COVID, post-COVID, or during, amidst all that. The trauma of COVID, all that. But you got time to keep on playing and doing the shucky duck and, like, for real? As if, and I'm going to tell you what this put me in the mind of. My daughters and I were doing studying during our homeschooling, and we were reading Miss Jemima B. Jones' book about the Fish Jubilee Singers. It spoke on Andrew Jackson and how the help had to get the scraps, and whenever a master showed up, they had to bow their heads. That mentality is still in Nashville, Tennessee. And you find the lie. Find the lie. And I may explain with my own situation why I have clear evidence without having to show a piece of paper. You hear me? And then I know I'm not the only one going through it, or have to have going through it. The stuff is traumatic. It's deeply traumatic. It causes PTSD. On top of just imagine being a black woman, period. We go through so many obstacles that people don't even know or talk about, and then we have to put on the face of, oh, I'm strong, I'm a black woman, and I can't complain about it. And if I say something about it, I'm complaining. The hell you say. Literally the hell you say. Now we gonna talk about it until the day. You hear me? No, we gonna talk about it. Cause who and other people going through it, I encounter along the journey down this Damascus road. You feel me? Like all kind of women that's going through it. We look better joining together and building strength. And building something that is tangible and something that really works and is a real solution. You mean to tell me you want to block what I'm doing across multiple agencies? And I'm going to tell you, I am going to say this, across shelters, across cities, across council members, multiple council members. The only person that was straightforward, down to earth, and a real human that talked to me, gave me resources freely, no motives, was Mr. David Bradley. He was on WVOL. Came on, I have a testimony, told his real testimony, and I felt it to my core that man was genuine. And you do not find that. I found maybe, and I'm trying to count, 3, 4, I'll say 4.5 solid people in the journey of being homeless 4 times. I even had a manager of Metro Social Services tell me his wife was in truancy, so therefore she would have a field day with me because I'm not turning my kids' camera on during the pandemic. This how y'all do social services. It's pretty anti-social services for me. You hear me? Because, like, here's the deal. And with that situation, I immediately knew that I had the right to file a grievance. Okay? Guess what these jokers do? No grievance. across all these departments I asked for a grievance for, I asked for appeal for. I've been denied my right to a fair due process. And this is not just me, that's just my story. The layers of the other stories, whoa. Whoa. Y'all don't want this smoke of these black women on fire. And it ain't even us, it's God. He's the one leading the way. He's the one that's guiding. He has guided our every step, and we have allowed him to. Through it felt like, y'all, and I'm not trying to be arrogant in no type of way. I'm not trying to be who I'm finna say this whole thing felt like. And it feels like multiple characters in the Bible, quite honestly. Those main characters that have had to fight the giants, that have had to carry the crosses, that have had to get their heads cut off because somebody was being a hater. Because they was running around telling the truth. You want to cut my head off to the 4th degree and counting. Because if you could, you would. Because I've been talking about it. That's the only reason you can't. And then same people, this whole system I'm talking about, right? Of blackballing, blocking. When we trying to make a learning center that has apprenticeships and trades for people to come out of poverty, for people to be able to have their own permanent home that can be fixed in less than 6 weeks, just if we had the backing. But guess what? While we was getting them no's, your girl was still applying behind the scenes while everybody thought I was doing nothing. That's gonna have to wait. I'm gonna have to call them back. That's my black women on fire. Matter of fact, hold up. Let's see. We gonna bring them on. Wait a minute. I'm gonna call her back. That's my love, growth, and evolution. I'm gonna call her back. Another black woman that's on fire. I'm gonna continue that right on through the day with Miss Lucy. Another black woman on fire that's being done the same way as us by services that are supposed to be providing a way for us not to be homeless. Because at the very end of the day, guess what? The home is the nucleus of every family. So everybody should have a home, period. Basic human right and need. And I was reading a news article, honey. Peep this. So, during the pandemic, the landlords were saying that they weren't getting paid. People need to pay their rent. All this fuss, right? I'm reading the article. Them ninjas was taken care of the whole time, as I thought. It's no way they bailing out big companies and they not breaking y'all off. If all you had to do was apply for it inside of PPP. The hell you say again? And it's the dehumanization again for me. It's all about greed. So to me, with that scripture, the first shall be last. The ones that have been greedy, it's your time to shine, baby. Shine right on up out of here and out the way for the real people that's bringing real solutions. And back to what I was saying, I didn't get off track. Apprenticeships and trades, headquartered Nashville, Tennessee as a pilot. Using the shipping containers. And the possibilities of learning through that apprenticeship program are limitless. And there's so many ways to interconnect that. And the epicenter of our learning center, we want to make sure the people are whole. That's what those A through Z wraparound services are for. Because guess what? The people that are creating this utopian cooperative coalition, you hear me? The people creating it have experienced it, and if they have not experienced it, they are black women founders, veterans, mothers, grandmothers, men, fathers, husbands, you know what I'm saying, on down the line. Like how we used to have a village back in the day, we trying to bring that back. Community. And the world itself is so divisive. So divisive. We not on that. We on building community, bringing people together. We on autonomy. Because guess what? At the end of the day, in Torah, the coalition, each individual and organization is who they are. They do what they do. And we come together, we going to help each other, we going to back each other. We already was saying, hey, when we piloting this in Nashville, Tennessee, and we already got lined up our other states and cities, and we'll be at each other's ribbon cuttings. Sure will. I ain't even mention the transitional housing part. That part. And like I said, less than 6 weeks, you got people out here in the cold needing housing, but you want to contend with me. Block nominations, I got anything I got going on. Y'all, I can't announce nothing I'm doing on social media because there is going to be an entity and a power that bees to try to block anything attached to my name. When let me hit a spin for you. When my housing experience started, when I started fighting for my own, it was like my third eviction, and I started fighting. I went, and I had already started Visionaries. I went as the CEO of Visionaries to a community meeting, spoke out. A council person heard me, and organization heard me, and I sparked their interest. First thing I was told, and I remember this to the T, and I'm gonna back up even before that, because this was around the eviction time. I didn't know what was going on. I was very confused as to why I was seeing my neighbors' belongings thrown out in the trash. You just seen an influx of everybody's stuff being thrown in the dumpster, not even in the front yard. That's traumatic by itself. Your stuff being tossed in the front yard. As someone that wants to be a provider of housing, I would never dehumanize a human like that, ever. It's like the ultimate, I hit you and now I'm sitting back and chuckling. I got a story as to why I say that too. Had a whole lawyer run out the back door with my money after he told me I could come get it to move. Same situation. But I'm going to get into that. It's so deep. And it's so many little tunnels and rabbit holes and matrices that I went through. And being homeless 4 times to see this story, I had to go through every avenue to be able to bring and birth these babies that are being birthed out of Visionaries, out of connecting with partners in the community. That made it even bigger. And because it's bigger than us. But back to, I was going to that meeting, and before the meeting, as I was being evicted, I knew this was taking place. Tried to pay the money. Metro Social Services was going to pay everything for us. They said, oh, we don't want it, we just want the unit. Strange. That's strange. Who don't want the money? Why would they say that? And another thing I saw during that eviction, going to court, everyone is corralled into the courtroom and made to sign their rights away. They don't know they have the right to see the judge, see us and our services further. About that, we are not lawyers, disclaimer, but we are ones with lived experience that can give you options, as Miss Rachel Johnson says, from Faces of Hood Housing Unity Project, our partner. She gets her ideas stolen too. So we all underserved and traumatized by the community that we try to serve and help. And it ain't even the people. The people are weary of these services because they done got done wrong. House sway. Again, we are here to be opposite of everything that has been offered before. We're different. We're offering real poverty solutions. I don't say that lightly, and I don't say that for no reason, because we've lived it. And we've been the victim of people's greed. They more so want to be greedy, stretch the process out, really not even doing nothing. But and that brings me exactly back to where the eviction, right? And I was talking to my good friend. We was sitting there having this whole epiphany moment, and it was just such like a open portal, and I could feel this so strong in that moment as this transition was happening. That's why I said, in the midst of being one to have to carry a cross, remember Jesus went through all those people and he was being ridiculed. He was being, basically, he had a public police brutality death and had to carry his own cross. And I'm telling you, supernaturally through this, as I look back and see all the different levels, God was doing something, and his hand has always been in it. That's why I can think different. I got a different mindset. I look at things differently, because I done been to different places through all the experiences. And if you choose to look at yours the same way, you will see your purpose inside of all that pain. But I remember feeling the worst murderous spirit I have ever felt. I felt like somebody wanted to take me out. I felt it before when I was in public housing, and I really didn't have no clue about the spiritual realm then, honey. I was clueless, but I still saw and felt some stuff. And this whole life has been training ground. Every situation that has happened to me, that's why I'm the homeless CEO and storytelling the stories of poverty. It has all happened to me, and you can't help nobody. Don't nobody want to hear what you talking about if you ain't been through nothing. And I done been through the trenches. That's why I can relate to the trenches. I don't judge the trenches, because I done been in that. Done been that. Done been there, done that. Been the young girl that was basically paused from the age of 5 to the age of 24 until she made the decision to intentionally love herself. Because she spent so much time from back when I can remember to age 8. I remember me always screaming about how nobody loves me, running off and, having tantrums. I just did not know what happened to me as a baby. Rightfully so. And that's a part of that long-standing trauma and PTSD that black women at the core, we have to deal with that stuff. And until we deal with, unpacking all that stuff, and we don't know. We just simply don't know. I had the worst attitude, y'all. Like, now I'm very intentional about being optimistic and glass half full, all that. But back to, I still ain't veered off. I know where I was at. And that's, the enemy has tried to bump me over the head to make my memory. But I ain't lost track. I know where I was at. I was talking about how I met the people with the organization when I was speaking out about my situation. So I'm a perfect target as a black token, and I just didn't even know what that was at that time. I'm just thinking, oh my God, I have a chance to justice. That's just what my first thought was. And I was like, man, if I thought about it, I would have got all the names and numbers of all those tenants I saw in the courtroom right in that moment. The thought crossed my mind, but I thought that was very radical, and my neighbors is not gonna be receptive to that, because people private, whatever. So the first words I hear out of this person's mouth that recruited me as an organizer, that traveled over the world, has been in over 40 publications. You could Google my name and you will see all this stuff, where I have traveled and publicly spoke, been a facilitator over trilingual conferences, or as a part of trilingual conferences, big big actions and campaigns, and everything was going for me. I had a little fan club, all that. But the first words out of this person's mouth is, "We're no white saviors." And turns out you better look for keywords like that. Because that turns out that's exactly what that group of people that's all intertwined into everything. They, when you step back and look at it, because in the midst of it, I felt I was going crazy. And it put me in the mind of the Scientology church, quite honestly. I'm going to be real. Oh, well, if you wanted a better part of my story, you would have played that. And it puts me in the mind of that cultish type of, and in the name of religion, because that's what's backing it, quite honestly. Whole church system behind this thing. Everybody is ministers and this and that, and y'all not honoring God with their racism, hatred, all that. And I don't have to, like Miss Lucy said today, and I've never been a person that just held on to any of that stuff. In the beginning I did not know how to process being or finding out I was a black token, and then finding out about the finances that were being mishandled just because you got black backs to write about that you're working in the community with as a privileged person, so therefore you automatically get the money. Then when I started applying with my organization, it's no. Then I finally started realizing too many people can see what I'm applying for, and then they are going and running and telling they people, pull that. Nope. Won a whole $10,000. Top of the pandemic. I don't think that's fair that I lost that money, because my baby had a whole fever, for one. For two, I asked about transportation mechanisms. Like, on my end, I feel like I did everything in my power to try to be there and to go forth in the contract that I won inside of that grant. But I feel like I saw the one person that also was a part of it. They do it as a career, these fellowships and such. But the one person I saw, and I'm like, oh, that's why. No matter what I did, I wasn't going to get it. And that's what it is. Like I said, fake meetings, all that stuff. No matter what I do in their eyes, I'm not going to get it. But guess whose eyes I am going to get it? And we in phase 2 in mini grants. We have moved on to the next phase where they are loving what we have to offer. Somebody gonna be the lucky one to get the opportunity to invest in us first. Who it gonna be? Might be you, huh? Some people have already donated. When I was doing fundraisers back on Facebook, thank you to the people that believed in. Somebody had paid for my website when I first started out, Visionaires. Thank you for believing in me then. I could tell who's a believer or not, or what people's intentions are, and when they get turned off time you try to tell them about something. And I know how huge this is. It's no refuting that. And it's not just for me, it's for every last one of those tribe members that I have encountered. God put us in each other's paths. And I know a lot of the times I encounter people that have been sexually molested, because that happened to me. A lot of times, whatever your purpose is, you're going to gravitate towards that type of person, because that's who you meant to help with the purpose of your pain. Man, you might want to go back and rewind that and catch that. You hear me? And look at that. I show y'all this a lot. You really can't see it. You can see it like that when I do I need to do something. I'm put cucumber. But that, it means a lot of how I'm chosen, how he knows my name. I was praising the other day. And I was driving. I was like, I better stop this because I'm going to sit up here and wreck. Oh, talking to my daddy and telling him thank you for everything. I'm so grateful, and I want to. I've been singing to him, just serenading him. I did that when my brother passed away. I serenaded my baby before he left this earth. He was already outside of his shell, but you know what I'm saying? Like, powerful. That instrument is powerful. And you have to forgive me, I said something about my baby. Of course, it's gone. Whew! Jesus. But the enemy had that gift, so he's going to try to steal their praise. And these are not tears. It's tears of everything. These unspoken prayers coming out right now. You have to just bear with me. It's all right. But just, doing the work and the obstacles and having a save face and stay strong, keep your crown on, have people assume everything but the right thing about you. But guess what? This black woman is on fire. And I'm so thankful and motivated with Miss Lucy for, I'm grateful to God for every step he's been. And when I saw this journey happen, I look at things differently, and I saw the different activation points throughout my whole life, even from birth. I tell this all the time too, of how I had a monitor in my head when I first got here. So the enemy do not come to steal out of empty vaults. And the major catastrophes and traumas and dramas and multi-level everything that I have been through. And then as a human, when you go through stuff, you need support. People, we need each other. Like Kurt Franklin's song, I need you, you need me. We're all a part of God's body. And there's so many people that are in that mind frame of no new friends. I love when I make a new friend. I don't know what angel I'm entertaining. You hear me? So just being open to new horizons, enjoying the journey. I refuse to not enjoy my journey any longer. I made a decision that through it all, even though I get attacked so much, y'all wouldn't even imagine the magnitude of what I'm carrying out and the magnitude of what my partners are carrying out. They're constantly attacked. We just keep each other covered and come back when we could get our head above the waves and the constant clashing. It's always something. It's always somebody against you. But like Miss Lucy said, she said a whole word today. I needed that word. Your haters is your motivators. If we didn't have no haters, we ain't doing nothing right. But yeah, we not here to be white saviors. I'ma need the city of Nashville to quit playing. It was a time that you listened to me, and I was in every newspaper, I was in every news outlet, news story, whatever. When you accepted me, and then widely as you accepted me is widely as you have tried to silence me or act like I'm not here, flick a little flea flick or whatever. You hear me? And wrong. I'm gonna go right around you and pop up like a whole garden. Cause what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And down to the point where the shelter I'm a participant in needs to lie to me so you don't have to collaborate. It's not a law, but it is suggested that local established nonprofits help other nonprofits that are within 5 miles of them. Much less I'm a participant. Come on now. Then you delay my stuff, lie to me, all this stuff. It's so unethical. Just think about it. One person already jumped ship that I was in contact with, that knew about me being homeless for a whole year and knew my situation, and that my assessment was in fact approved for permanent supportive housing to the umpteenth degree, like on the highest risk level. But they kept telling me I was declined across three different agencies before they finally, a year in, was like, oh, because I had the right to HUD. And HUD, I need you to hear me. Listen to the people with lived experience. Y'all been talking about how you need lived experience heard. And then when it comes down to it, that's what's being blocked at the local level. Us being heard. The voice of poverty is missing in the whole city of Nashville. And we are the ones that, I work in hospitality, make your little tourism city tick, babe, with my taxpayer dollars. So how about that? I need to be heard. Not only me, all my people. So point blank period. It's no choice. No choice in the matter. So, oh well. Black women is on fire. And from the Homeless CEO, I'ma holler at y'all next month. I'm doing monthly. I had to come after that one. That was on fire. Phenomenal show. Miss Lucy. Black Women on Fire. It's right on time and on point. And look forward to hearing more from us. And actually, I want to put a action call out to I'm looking to connect with Nashville Propel, because like I said, it's some students that have been, even down to, I saw a newborn baby, a mom was evicted, or she's homeless to some capacity, and that's what we're trying to build. We applied to build domestic violence, large families, and maternal single mother homes for newborn babies. Is that not what we need right now? Families with children, domestic violence, new moms. How did you decline what we're doing and then turn around and say how brilliant our application was? Miss me with that. And come on, we need some land. That's what we need, land trusts. I'm in some stuff that I'm hoping I get a response back from the state of Tennessee that I have applied for. And I did get follow-up letters from them, so I'm hoping that means I'm in a running, because nobody's transparent. I need you to be transparent and clear on what we're doing. So, yeah. And to the ones that have not answered me, I haven't said your name yet, but it's coming. Because we tried. We fair and square tried to be work with these people and get at their table and, go that route. But when you start conniving and doing all that stuff, then you're not being transparent, and that means whatever is going on behind the scenes is for your benefit. And let me not even get on their DEI and anti-racism pledges. Quit saying that stuff and making up them empty words. Cause I'm feeling like my girl with strange fruit. Them some strange words. Y'all don't mean that stuff. And guess what? We saw what I'm speaking on. We were in a meeting, a coalition meeting, and somebody's name got brought up for opportunity. The main person that's the nucleus of all this, one of them, she's one of the nucleuses, and everybody praises the ground she walks on. But okay. Oh no, he did this, so therefore he doesn't need the for a long time. Went on and on about why not this person. person not even there to defend themselves. Miss an opportunity because head mistress feels like. Quit saying anti-racism pledges. You very racist, all of y'all. And I'm gonna say it. I ain't scared to say it. Y'all had the right one and y'all was sleeping on me. And baby, you thought when I started out as an organizer, you don't know her no more. And she didn't do anything to bother y'all. Y'all try to make me think I was all, I'm just terrorizing my tenants and everything. Let them tell it. They had a white tenant come and cuss me out one day. I had to leave for a blackout. My girl, you gonna want me to leave this place because you don't want that smoke. I don't care how big you are. Don't care. Don't. We'll tackle you in a second. Millisecond. Don't get that twisted. But who want to sit there and be fighting people? Nobody got time for that dumb stuff. I just don't. The dehumanization of. They had a whole smear campaign about me. And some of my black people believed it. Went on right with it. One person I wanted to talk to because I saw them do the same thing to her. But then when my smear campaign came, they went right along with it. And I was like, oh, never mind. Because I see you. It's sad how they stick together with each other's dirty draws. And I'm called to talk about racism. So if it make you uncomfortable, stop being a racist. Sorry. Most times when that ouch comes, that's why you have an irritation with me talking about racism. I have to talk about I'm a black female founder that is living this stuff. I'm gonna talk about it in the deep south of Tennessee, where they still act like slave masters. I done been at so many jobs where that's the dynamic. It's black and white. It's superior to inferior. The black people really can't do nothing. They don't think we capable of jack squat. We have been told that to our face, and then someone laughed behind it as if that was the gospel. It ain't. It's not. Again, miss me with that. Outrageous. That's why I said the depth of what we ain't even told half the stories. That ain't even the half. Courtrooms, they doing tactics in the courtroom. Like I said, the whole lawyer, he's some respected lawyer in the judicial system right now that handles all the evictions for all the apartment complexes. You so hard up for $1,500, you ran out the back door with my money after you told me I could come get it. Got all that documented in the email. Receipts my butt. I got receipts. I just don't put them out there like that. It doesn't matter. If I'm saying it, I'm not finna sit up and be making stuff up. Who got time for that? Make up something I didn't go through. Now you gonna hear me regardless. If I show a piece of paper, gather my stuff together, it ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna have it. Got the whole conversation from the lawyer back and forth. And that lawyer came from when I went to speak out at that community meeting. They had let me get a lawyer, donated some time. Bless him for that. He was legitimate. And he was like, well, we gonna have to do a legal eviction. We never went beyond that because I just was tired at that point. Then I saw that the apartment complex was sold for $20 million. I was just devastated. That stuff take a piece of you. It's PTSD. That is trauma. And so I know if I went through trauma as an adult, what was my kids going through? Even now to today. With what happened with my brother, they got trauma. Being homeless, you got trauma. Being a black child in school, you got trauma. There's trauma everywhere. No, it's time for my babies myself, my family, my community to heal. We got the solution to do so. We do. We only lack the tool of resources as far as land. Let me say that, because we are the resources. That is not no problem. But the tools to make it operational. So, and that's what we're working on. We gonna get there regardless. So if you know anybody and you want to put our story out there to sponsors, we are taking sponsors, partners, connections, all that. And I'd love to, like I said, talk to Nashville Propel about these families and collaborate on something to safeguard there. And Community Bridges has a workshop that's coming out exactly for this. I'll be sharing it once she's ready to share that, because I don't want to be putting it out before it's time. And that's on from her organization, and that's for her to say go or not. That's totally up to her, and because she her own CEO and founder. And that's what I believe. Hey, every last one of us got our strengths, and when we come together, we got that like that Care Bear picture I posted. Hey, each one got a superpower. My kids are antsy about me being on the video. When I'm on the video, I'm doing what I'm doing. It's my time, boo. Thank you. I'm almost finished. Alright, holla. Life of a homeless mommy CEO, honey. Never a dull moment. But bye-bye. I'll let y'all next time.